Hello, friends, and thank you for tuning in to our broadcast today. In a few moments, we're going to take you into a live session where Bishop Wayne was teaching a message designed to feed your faith and to elevate your understanding. We invite you to join in as if you were here in person and to light up the chat box with your comments and confirmations. This hour of power is your time to recharge, to renew, and even to reset your mind for a life of purpose, passion, and power. At the end of this message, we have an important announcement for you. So do stay tuned. But now let's go into the hour of power with Bishop Wayne Malcolm.
So, just a brief overview of what we're going to discuss. We're going to start off with a pretty profound scripture reading, and then I'm going to give some context to the passage. I'm going to talk about the desert island. I'm going to get you to imagine a desert island, and we'll then begin to unveil the real economy and where real wealth is and the origins of true wealth. And then I want to talk about the journey of humanity, the journey of civilization from savagery to civility, and what it was that actually bridges the gap between savagery and civility. And then I'm going to close off talking about smart investments. Smart investments, right? Great to see you guys coming in. Great to see you. So here's the scripture. It's Revelation 18, verses 11 through 20. Revelation 18, verses 11 through 20. And here's what it reads. Okay, so there's a lot of reading, but please bear with me and read with me and get a sense of what's happening here. So here goes. This, just for context, this is describing the fall of Babylon, the destruction of Babylon, the destruction of this mystery Babylon in the book of Revelation. And of course, this is picture language. It's metaphoric. It's allegorical. It is prophetic picture language and should be understood as such. However, it is loaded with lessons and packed with principles, and we're going to extract a principle from it tonight. So it says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men." Ooh. Oh, now I have highlighted, or I've made bold and underscored those last two categories, and slaves and souls of men. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So, "And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she's made desolate." And then the final verse says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and you holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her." Wow and wow. So that was deep. And what I want to do is somewhat simplify this. So what I want you to notice is that when Babylon is destroyed, suddenly, according to this prophecy, the merchants of the earth are going to weep and mourn over her. And then it begins to say why they're weeping and mourning and what they're mourning over. And it gives a comprehensive list of all the things that they are weeping and mourning over. And this list reveals a hierarchy of value, a hierarchy of value. No man buys the merchandise anymore, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen. But what I want you to notice is that the very last thing they wept over, the very last thing they mourned over, the very last thing that grieved the merchants of the earth who traded with Babylon, the very last thing was the souls of men. The souls of men. And I want you to notice that because I've put it in bold and underlined, and slaves and souls of men. And what this means is that Babylon represented an economic system based on misplaced values and a hierarchy of values that put people right at the bottom. Notice that people were less important than gold and silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, wood, ivory, brass, iron, marble, cinnamon, ointments, even beasts, sheep and horses and chariots. People were less valuable in this Babylonish economy that was based on misplaced values. And when the merchants of the earth wept, they were weeping over the loss of things. They were not weeping over the loss of people, which meant that things were more important to them than people. And so here's some context here. The destruction of Babylon represents the collapse of a false economic system. The collapse of a false economic system that was based on misplaced priorities. The last thing they wept over was the souls of men. Now I'm just going to say that again because I think it's critical to what I'm going to teach tonight. The destruction of Babylon represents the collapse of a false economic system. And it was false because it was based on misplaced priorities. The last thing they wept over was the souls of men. Babylon means confusion. Like the meaning of the word is confusion. So this was a system, an economic system that represents confusion and misplaced priorities. And it was a system that put products over people. We'll say it again. It put products over people. We'll say it again. The Babylonish false economy put products over people. Now, just continuing the context, the Babylonian system stands in direct contrast to the original system of God. Okay, the original system of God. So we see the destruction of the Babylonian system in Revelation, but in Genesis, we have the original economic system of God. And in God's value system, man is more important, man is more valuable, man is more precious than land, sea, air, cattle, and crops. And we see this in the fact that God gave dominion to man. He put man over all of it. The fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, the cattle of the field, the land, the territory. It was all man's domain. And God made man the king of his kingdom. And so in God's economy, in the economy of the kingdom, and in the hierarchy of value, man is first. Everything else is second. But in the Babylonish confused economic system based on misplaced priorities, man is last. Okay? And Babylon put products over people. Now, I'm hoping that that makes sense for somebody. And I'm hoping that those of you that are having any sound issues, that those issues are being resolved. So I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper. And I want to explore or examine the idea that people are more important than products, that man is more important to God than his environment. I want to challenge tonight the false economy that puts products over people. And I want to reveal where true wealth exists, okay? And what God thinks of as wealth. And I guess we have a choice here, you know, there's a choice. I love the fact there's a contrast. It simply means that there's a choice. There's a choice between the God system and the Babylonian system. But if you choose the Babylonian system, according to Revelation, it's going to collapse. And it's going to collapse very suddenly. And it's going to result in tears for people who rely on the Babylonian system. But if you actually understand God's system and work within the framework of God's system, then actually there's going to be no end to your success. And this is why in Revelation, it literally says that while the merchants of the earth are weeping, you know, the last verse says, rejoice, ye heavens. Okay. In other words, you know, let the heavens rejoice. Let the apostles and the prophets rejoice over the collapse of this fake, false, demonic, Babylonish economic system. So we're not going to weep and we're not going to mourn when the fake economy collapses, because we know it's going to collapse. And we know that God has orchestrated and appointed its collapse. And it's collapsing so that the true economy will appear, the real economy, the original economy, the God economy. So cool. I'm loving your comments, guys. It's a blessing to see you commenting in the chat box. So let's go into this a bit deeper. So I want you to imagine a desert island. Okay, imagine a desert island. And I want you to imagine that that island is covered in fruit trees. Okay, so it's very fruitful. And it's surrounded by beaches, right? Sandy beaches, white sandy beaches, blue, warm water around its coast and its sandy beaches. And then I want you to go even further and imagine that there are 3 huge treasure chests on the island. Okay, 3 huge treasure chests on the island. One chest has $100 million in cash in the chest. The other chest has treasure of gold and silver and diamonds and rubies and minerals of all sorts. And the other chest has got food, lots of food products inside of it. So I want you to imagine that island, but there are no people there. There are no people on the island, okay? There are no people on the island, but it's fruitful. It has great coasts. There's money there. There's treasure there. There's food there, but there's no people there. The question is, what is its value? What is its value? And the answer is that it has absolutely no value until a person discovers it. It actually has zero value outside of a person or outside of people. So it is people that give it value. It becomes of value because of the presence of people. So I've written here that without goods and services for sale, the money doesn't mean anything. Okay? If there are no goods and services on sale, the money is good for nothing. If there's no one to admire or buy the treasure, it's junk. And if there's no one to consume the food, it has no value. It is a society of civil people that give value to things. Okay, it is a society of civil people that gives value to things. The fact is that things don't have intrinsic value outside of people. And if there's no people, the thing has no value. So that's an important starting point, and why the fake economy needs to collapse. It needs to collapse because it puts people at the bottom of the hierarchy of value, when in fact, there is no value in the world without people. It is people that make things valuable, not things that make people valuable. And I want to dive into this in some detail tonight. It is people that make things valuable. It's not things that make people valuable. Real value, okay? So the treasure island only has value when a person who has access to a civil society discovers it. This treasure island, it only has value when a person discovers it. But that person needs to have access to a civil society. So, for example, if a person discovered the island, right, and found the first treasure chest with $100 million in it, unless that person has access to a civil society where there is a marketplace where goods and services are on sale, that box of money doesn't mean anything. All right. The treasure doesn't mean anything. Now, the food has some value, but in reality, the treasure island only becomes valuable when a person finds it, and that person needs access to a civilized society in order to say, I have found great wealth. So it increases in value when that person collaborates with other people by trade, by investment, and by exchange. The question here, where then is the real value? Where is the real value? Is the value the island? Is the value the gold? Is the value the money? Is the value the food? The real value is in the people. That's where real value is. It's people. And so I want us to just take this, drill a little bit deeper. People over products. People give value to things. Things don't give value to people. I'm going to say it again. People give value to things. Things don't give value to people. Now, when you're in the fake economy, you are looking for things to make you valuable. Okay? But when you're in the God economy, you realize that the value is in yourself, and that you are the one that's going to make things relevant. Things are not going to make you relevant. You're going to make things relevant because the real value is you. Because the things without you don't have any value, okay? But you without the thing, you have value. So real value is in the people, it's in the person, it's not in the thing. I'm hoping that this is making sense to somebody. You want to send up some hearts, some fire emojis, send up some emojis if this is making sense to someone. Watch this. Without people, products have no value. Think about it. Yeah, you've made this great product. You've manufactured this great product. You've got this great product. If there are no people, it is of no value. Say, well, I can make a great burger. I can make burgers. I can make well, you make them on the desert island. They have no value except in your own consumption. Without people, services have no value. I mean, what is a plumber? What is a plumber if there's no one that needs plumbing, if there's nothing to plumb? So without people, services have no value. Without people, money has no value. Without people, buildings have no value. Think of the ghost town. Think of a ghost town. Just imagine a ghost town, right? Where the buildings are intact. The buildings are furnished. The computers are all in place. Everything's there except people. It's a ghost town. It has no value. Without people, buildings have no value. Things don't give value to people. People give value to things. A plumber with no one to service has no meaningful skill. Your skill is not meaningful if there's no one to service. So I'm going to pull out that that last piece again. Things don't give value to people. People give value to things. When you are in the Babylonish fake and false demonic economy, you are looking for things to give you value. You're looking for things to make you relevant. You're looking for things to make you important. But in God's economy, you are the value, you are the relevance, you are the importance, and you bring importance, relevance, and value to things around you. You make products valuable, you make services valuable, you make buildings valuable, you make them valuable, because without you, they have no value. Now, I'm loving these fire emojis. I want to see more fire emojis coming up and heart emojis, because I know I'm saying something deep here. I know this is deep because it's just, it blows my mind when I think about this particular concept. Look at this one here. If you miss this, you miss the whole lesson. True wealth is you. Oh, help me now. True wealth is you. Real wealth is you. And I want you to say, I am true wealth. I am wealth. I want you to write in the chat box, I am wealth. Okay? Because without me, things don't have value. Okay? A car does not define me. I define the car. The car without me is a piece of metal. It's worth nothing, right? I am the wealth. And that's right. I want to see it going up in the chat box. I am wealth. I am true wealth. I am wealth. Because see, once you start using those words, I am, right? You are invoking the sacred name of God, and you're speaking spiritual language to your spiritual essence. You are awakening your own super consciousness when you say I am. When you say I am with conviction, you are awakening energies and resources and creativities and innovations. You are awakening those things in yourself. You're awakening godlike qualities in yourself. You are awakening the part of you that is the image and likeness of God when you say I am. So that's why you have to be very careful what you put on the end of I am, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and you end up manifesting what you say you are. I found in life, you don't get what you want, you actually get what you are. So when you start to say, I am wealth, I am it, okay, then your superconscious spiritual essence and core being begins to unleash a fountain of creative energy and solutions and strategies and confidence and courage, and it all starts coming out when you say I am. Okay, so I want you to say I am true wealth, or I am wealth, because when you understand that you are the wealth, okay, not houses, not land, not cars, not farms, not fish, they are only valuable because of you. Okay, they only have worth because you deem them worthy. They don't make you valuable, you make them valuable. They don't make you significant, you make them significant. They don't define you, you define them. So I want you to let's read deeper into this. It is your presence that gives value and meaning to your environment. It is your presence that gives value and meaning to your environment. So I'm here in this hotel, okay, and there are other people in this hotel, but if all the people left the hotel has no meaning. It cannot fulfill its purpose. It is not of value until a person says, I want a room. So the reality is, it is your presence that gives value and meaning to your environment. It's not your environment that gives value and meaning to you. And this is so important and so profound, because God wants you to walk around knowing that you are the defining factor, you are the determining factor, you are the relevant factor. True wealth is you, and everything else is wealthy is material in as much as it matters to you. If it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter. And this is why what God did in the beginning is he said, Adam, all this is yours. Now, see all these animals, Adam, you name them. You name them. And whatever you call them, that's what they're going to be. In other words, Adam, you define your environment. Your environment must never define you. You define your environment. It must never define you. It might refine you, but it must not be allowed to define you. All right, let's read through this list. Let's read through this list. Without you, wealth doesn't exist. I need you to realize that. Without you, wealth doesn't exist. The desert island, right? The desert island. Wealth doesn't exist without a person and a civil society to exploit the resource, to trade the resource. So without you, wealth doesn't exist. You are the most valuable thing in your world. Your car is not worth more than you. Your house is not worth more than you. Your clothes are not worth more than you. And Jesus was very, very clear about this. You know, you are worth more than those things. Because you are the most valuable thing in your world. So in your world, you know, in your world, it's very important that you see yourself as the most valuable thing in your world. Okay, you determine the value of things around you. You name them, you frame them. Okay, it's either of value to you or it's not, because you get to determine what value is. And here's where it gets deep. Things don't make you rich. I'm just wondering if it's just me out here screaming in this hotel. Things don't make you rich. You make things rich. You make things rich. Things don't make you rich. You make things rich. Riches don't make you. You make riches. Things don't define you. You define things. Things don't give meaning to you. You give meaning to things. That's the original God order. That's God's economy. It starts with you. In the Babylonish, fake, false, demonic economy, you are at the bottom and everything else is on top. In the God economy, you are on the top and everything else is on the bottom. That's why God says to Israel, I'll make you the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. Because things don't give meaning to you. You give meaning to things. Things without you are meaningless. Woo! And this is why companies and organizations and countries alike who adopt the Babylonian fake economy are going to experience collapse. Because the most important asset in an organization, in a company, in a community, or in a country is its human capital. Its human resource is the true value in an economy. Its human capital and resource is the true value. Misplaced values is the origin of the Babylonish system that will one day collapse to make way for the real economy. So let me put it here. Things without people have no value. Gold, oil, food, water have no value without human beings. A company's true value is its people and its customers. A country's true wealth is its human capital and its human resource. An organization that invests more in machines than it does in its people is Babylonish. Ooh, I'm going to say it again. If you invest more in machines than you do in people, you're Babylonish because your true wealth is in your human capital and your human resource. Let me explain what I mean. Okay. So if you have a company, right, you know, a high-tech company in a big building, big office block, and there's like, 300 staff in there, and there's machines everywhere, and computers, and there's hardware, and there's software, and there's desks, and there's chair, everything, right, in this building. And let's suppose the building burns down, right? So if the building were to burn down, right, and everything in it were lost, but the people got out in time, right? So the staff, the 300 staff, they got out, but all the stuff burned down. That company can move its operation across the road into another building, replace all the technology and all of the hardware and all of the software, and with the same people, they would be up and running in business again within a day or two, okay? Because the value, the asset, the true asset was the knowledge in the head, in the heart, and in the mind of its workers. The true asset was its human capital, its human resource. That's where the value is in an organization. So, of course, there are some people that will sacrifice the people to save the building. That's Babylonish. In the economy of the kingdom, you sacrifice the building and save the people, because the people is what give meaning to the building. The building doesn't give meaning to the people give meaning to the building. All right, is this making sense to somebody? I hope it is. I could go on forever with any one of these slides, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I want to talk about the beginning of wealth creation. Like, if you're going to experience the wealth transfer, and if you're going to be one of those people into whose hands God puts power, right? Because God wants to put power in the hands of people who are in his hand. And if God's going to put power in your hand, you're going to have to understand the difference between the kingdom economics and Babylonish economics. Kingdom economics starts like this, right? The beginning of wealth creation from a kingdom perspective is this: that the real wealth transfer starts when we put the value back where it belongs. That is, on people over products, property, and programs. Like you're at the dawn of a massive wealth and cash injection into your life when you start valuing people. Like, if you start to value people, you're already moving out of the Babylonian system, and you're moving into kingdom economics, simply because your priority is people. And because that's the origin, that's the beginning of real wealth creation, is you're prioritizing people over everything else. So what happens when you value other people? What happens when you start to value people? Okay, let's break it down. Thinking about how you can help others, right? So just simply sitting down thinking about other people and thinking, how can I help this person? How can I alleviate their suffering? How can I resolve their issues? How can I help them achieve their aspiration? How can I enable them? How can I empower them? How can I enrich them? When you start thinking like that, you are at the dawn of your day of wealth creation, right? Because when you start thinking like that, that is the birth or the beginning of a business system. It's the birth or the beginning of a business system. Because all business in the beginning is about enriching other people's lives. It's about assisting, aiding, supporting other people. And you don't ever become an entrepreneur until you start prioritizing other people. That's really the genesis of it. Now, of course, people get corrupted along the way by the Babylonish fake economy, but that's not going to happen to us, because I'm giving us some tremendous context. Here's what happens when you start valuing other people. Number one, you do unto others what you would have done unto yourself. My word. What does that mean? It means that you start thinking, gosh, if I was in that person's shoes, I would love it if someone did this for me. If I was in that person's shoes, I would love it if I could find a way to stop this, start that, move forward, move ahead, break through. You literally you literally start obsessing about enriching other people's lives. Now, you seek for ways to enrich their life. You communicate, cooperate, and collaborate for a richer community. You seek the welfare of all because without the others, we have no value. You produce excess and surplus so that others don't have to. You become a producer and not just a consumer. This is what happens to you when you start thinking about other people and their needs. When you prioritize people over things, you automatically, you automatically, when I say you produce excess and surplus, what I mean is you don't just want to produce enough for yourself. You want to produce a little bit more so you can help somebody else because you're thinking about other people and you're practicing the great commandment to love your neighbor as yourself. And so I'm going to just deal with very briefly something that I think is super powerful. And let me know if everything's working on your side, because a couple of things are switching off for me here, but let me know if it's working your side. Great. I'm loving some of the comments that I'm seeing. Just take a minute to look at your comments. Aaron says, this is good. Johnny says, facts. I'm here to make your life better. God got me. My needs taken care of. What do you need? Aaron noted it's the golden rule. And I see some fire emojis, and guys, you're fantastic. Let's keep it going. So I'm going to talk about the origins of societies. Okay, the origin of society. Like how did we move from caves to cities? Like how did we move from a very primitive way of life and hunting animals, towards some kind of cooperative, collaborative approach? So I'm gonna break it down, right? And this is borne out by a lot of historic facts, and hopefully it doesn't bore me because it excites me no end. Society started when producers produced excess or surplus supplies with others on their mind. In other words, in the beginning, a farmer was going to farm enough food to feed his family. That's what he was going to do. He was going to farm for enough food to feed his family. Or he was going to go fishing. The fisherman was going to go fishing to catch enough fish to feed his family. But what happened was these farmers and these fishermen began to think about others. They began to think about their neighbors. They began to think about their friends. They began to think about other people. And they said, look, since I'm so good at farming, I'm not just going to farm enough for my family. I'm going to farm for surplus and excess because I need more than enough. And if I can produce more than enough, then my family's taken care of, but I can bring the rest to my neighbors and to my friends. I can bring it to market. So society started when producers started to produce excess and surplus supplies because they had others on their mind. The origin of the marketplace was farmers and fishermen producing surplus that's more than they needed to survive, so that others wouldn't have to farm or fish. What do I mean? Others don't have to farm or fish. You don't have to farm because I've produced surplus. You don't have to fish because I've caught more than I actually need. And they could go to market and you could buy from the surplus of other people, of producers. Now, you get rich by enriching others. Everything else is a Babylonian illusion, a Babylonish economics. And it's going to crash, according to the Bible, literally in an hour. So let's kind of go to the right-hand side of this. Okay, well, let's do the picture in the middle. The picture in the middle, you can see, these spices and things on sale in the market. Well, how are those things on sale? They're on sale because someone said, I'm not just going to farm for me. I'm going to farm for other people too. I'm not just going to fish for me. I'm going to fish for other people too. I'm not just going to produce enough to satisfy my needs. I'm going to produce more so that I can help other people too. And so wealth creation originally was a byproduct of finding ways of people finding ways to make life easier for other people. The whole marketplace started when producers said, I need to find a way to make it easier for other people who can't farm like I do, who can't fish like I do. I want to make it easier for them. Love thy neighbor. Wealth starts with more than enough. Okay, it's a more than enough mentality, surplus and excess thinking beyond your own needs. Love your neighbor as yourself. Wealth starts when you obsess about enriching the lives of other people. You obsess about enriching the lives of other people. That was the origins of the marketplace. And that's what took humans from savagery to civility. What do I mean by that? From savagery to civility. Well, you know what a savage is, right? So the savage is totally self-absorbed, preoccupied with basic need, and will go out to hunt and to kill enough for themselves. But the marketplace was the bridge between savagery and civility. We became civil when producers began thinking about others and not just themselves. So we became a society when people said, look, I'm good at catching these animals, and I'm good at farming. And what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about others, and I'm going to make more than enough. And I'm going to take the excess and the surplus to a place where people can buy it from me. So business and trade is what turns savages into civil societies. A savage seeks to enrich themselves at the expense of others. Now, I want you to see this example I put at the bottom. If I don't have to farm for the food, if I don't have to farm for the food, but can instead buy the food, then I'll have time to build homes, okay? Because I don't have to spend my life farming because someone else has done the farming. They're going to bring it to the market. I'm going to buy the food produce from their surplus. That means I've got time to learn how to build homes and to build homes. You can then take the money and pay someone to build your home. So you're a farmer, right? You've produced surplus, you bring it to market, you take the money, you pay someone to build your home. Then you can take the money from building someone's home, and you can buy food. And that's how we became a civil society, right? We became a civil society through enterprise, through entrepreneurship, through the marketplace, through business, and through trade. And, when you see, various political theories that denigrate the marketplace and enterprise and trade, or that demonize the whole idea of being entrepreneurial and creating value and servicing others. When you see that, what you're looking at is Mystery Babylon. You're looking at this Babylonian system that God never created, but that actually was created to put products over people. The true economy of the kingdom starts when you think, look, how can I enrich someone else's life? How can I support their aspiration? How can I alleviate their suffering? When you start thinking like that, you're no longer satisfied with just enough for yourself. You now start to create excess and surplus so that you can be of service to your fellow man. All right. Is that making sense? Is this blessing anyone? Did anyone get something meaningful from that? I'm just looking at the chat box right now. You're sending up some great messages and lots of fire emojis, and I'm really, really excited about that. So let me get to the deep of this. Let's get to the concluding deep of this, the deep end of this revelation about true wealth and about the real economy, which is you. You are the real economy. You will become rich through making wise investments. Now, I'm going to make a statement here. It's it's a blank statement, right? But it's raw truth. You will never become wealthy by working hard. I just want to make it very clear. You will never become wealthy by working hard. You can only become wealthy through investing, okay? Now, think of the farmer, for example. The farmer has seed. God gives seed to the sower. What the farmer is going to have to decide is, do I put the seed in the sack or do I put the seed in the soil? If you put the seed in the sack, you're saving seed. If you put the seed in the soil, you're investing seed. The only way to become wealthy is through investing, right? So, you know, it's the law of sowing and reaping, okay? It's the universal, ubiquitous principle of whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So even when I discuss the origin of the marketplace and the origins of civilization, the origins of civility, it was people investing their time and their energy in creating surplus and excess that they could bring to market. There's an investment. There's always an investment. And the only way to manifest the wealth that you really are, because becoming rich is really manifesting who you really are, because you are the true wealth. You are the real wealth, right? And when it comes to manifesting that, it will happen through you making wise investments, right? So since true value is in people, you should first invest in people above projects, property, or programs as follows. Some people say to me, oh, Bishop, you know, I've made some money, I have some profits from my business, or I've inherited some money, or, you know, I came into some money, and I want to know what's a smart investment. Do you have any advice? Well, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor and not qualified to give you professional financial advice. You should take financial advice from a qualified professional financial advisor, right? But here's what I'm going to tell you are three smart investments. Your first is investing in yourself. You're going to spend some of that on you, right? Because you are the value that gives value to other things. So your greatest investment is in your own personal development. And this means spending on building your capacity to lead and to serve others around you. So if you build your own capacity as a leader, as a creator of value, as a service provider, as a inventor, whatever it is, spending on your own learning, your own education, your own capacity building, that is called a smart kingdom investment. It's not a Babylonish investment, it's a kingdom investment. In fact, you know, the book of Revelation is a book of contrast. So you've got the harlot and the bride. You've got Mystery Babylon and New Jerusalem, right? You got these contrasts. And the fact is that investing in yourself is a principle that comes out of New Jerusalem, because investing in yourself first tells you that you know where real value is. The real value in your world is you. And if you're missing from your world loses its value. So you need to invest in you. That's investing in your health. That's investing in your skills. That's investing in your capacity. You should spend on you. Number two, your team, right? Because your second great investment is in the people around you. This means building a dream team. A dream team. So what do you see Jesus do when he returns from the temptation and starts his ministry? What's the first thing he does? He starts building a dream team. He starts building a dream team. He starts teaching the team. He starts training the team. He starts empowering the team. He gives the team opportunity. He gives the team authority. He gives the team responsibility. He's building the team. Clearly, his priority is the team, okay? His priority is the team over the task. Because if the team is right, the task will get done. He doesn't just come in with some Babylonish spirit, saying, look, this is the task. I don't care who does it. Someone get it done. No, he's investing his time, his resources into building a dream team. And if you are going to realize the wealth that you are, you must invest in you, and you must invest in building a dream team, because that team is going to, of like minds, is going to allow you to multiply your reach and your revenue in the marketplace, which is the true bridge between Savagery and Civility. Finally, if you're going to make an investment, right? So I'm not here saying that stocks and bonds, real estate and commodities, I'm not saying they're bad investments at all. In fact, in my Blessed Business Challenge, certainly for the Platinum members, we're going to really look at this world of investing. But here's the reality, that your most important investments are in you, your team, and your business. Your business. The third greatest investment is in the community and the society that you serve with your business. So this means producing surplus so that you can bring products or services to market in the form of your own business. Now, I'm going to start to close with this, because this right here will change your life if you receive it. Okay? So get ready to receive it. Okay? Has anyone ever said to you, oh, that looks good on you? It looks good on you. Yeah? It looks good on you. Well, here's what I want you to know. Okay? And I want you to know that it looks good on you is better, much better than you look good in it. Okay? You look good in it. Because if you look good in it, then it made you look good. But if it looks good on you, then you made it look good. So here's my affirmation, and you can make it if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Okay? But I make my clothes look good. Y'all ain't gonna help up in here. Somebody need to scream. Clothes don't make me look good. I make them look good. They are only of value because I'm wearing them. I make these clothes. I make these clothes. I make this car. Okay? Whatever car, I have a few cars. Whatever car I drive, I make it look good. It doesn't make me look good. I make it look good. This house, I make it look good. Okay? It looks good because I'm in it. I give it value. I give it meaning. I give it life. You don't look good in your clothes. Your clothes look good on you. You don't look good in your car. Your car looks good around you. You don't look good in your house looks good on you. Because see, if you say it the other way round, if you think of it the other way round, that, oh, you look good in your clothes, you look good in that car, you look good in that house, then you're saying that the value was in the clothes, the car, and the house. The clothes made you look good. The car made you look good. The house made you look good. That's Babylonish. The truth is that all the value is you. All the value is in you. You make your clothes look good. You make the cars look good. You make the house look good.
Attention, God's entrepreneurs. Did you know that there is a success system deeply hidden and encoded in the stories of the Bible? The system works 100% of the time for people who work it, even if they work it unconsciously or not realizing its spiritual roots. Join the Business Bishop for a masterclass in God's success system and discover how to turn your opportunities into outcomes, your ideas into incomes, and your passion into profits. The Success Streams Masterclass includes step-by-step training on the system and comes with additional bonus courses by the Business Bishop. Perhaps you've tried everything else. Now try God's way and watch the same power that took Israel from slavery to mastery take you from the pain of poverty to the pinnacles of prosperity. Are you ready? Click the link in the description to find out more or to secure your seat.
Hey there, entrepreneurs! If you enjoy the teachings of Bishop Wayne Malcolm, I've got something amazing for you. Introducing the New Breed Community, an exclusive online platform for kingdom-conscious entrepreneurs, professionals, investors, and creators. This isn't just a community, it's a movement where we discuss and explore kingdom concepts. Here, kingdom-minded people connect, share, learn, and grow together. Inside, you'll find exclusive content from Bishop Wayne Malcolm, including special sessions just for members. And the best part? It's free to join. The New Breed Community sits on the Heartbeat platform, where Bishop Wayne Malcolm is excited to meet you online. Join us for weekly Q&A sessions with Bishop Wayne and get exclusive insights that can transform your life. Love to read? Join our book club to feed your mind and spirit. Got a prayer request? Post it and let's lift each other up. Have a testimony? Share how God's goodness is shining in your life. We're more than just a community, we're a movement. Discover the powerful relationship between your profession and your purpose. Join us now on the Heartbeat platform. Connect with us and let's grow together. Bishop Wayne Malcolm and the New Breed Community are waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? Hit that join button and step into a world of connection and growth. A warm welcome awaits you. See you on the inside.
Yo, it's time to rise, wake up from your sleep. Bishop Wayne's got the guidance, the wisdom runs deep. Subscribe and like, let's spread this truth loud. Comment, share it wide, let's stand tall, be proud. Kingdom coaching, we got the plan. Success principles, grab a hold and take a stand. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bishop Wayne's teaching, we're climbing the stair. In the kingdom of hopes, together we'll thrive. With biblical truths, we'll keep dreams alive. Elevate your mind, shift that identity. In the marketplace of life, claim your clarity. Rule in the midst of the trials and the gloom. With faith as your armor, watch blessings consume. Stand firm, be bold, let your light be known. With each step forward, you'll claim your throne. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bishop Wayne's teaching, we're climbing the stair. In the kingdom of hopes, together we'll thrive. With biblical truths, we'll keep dreams alive.